happen if we got caught? Keep your hands there at 2 and 10. Say when. The subtle death that the pleasure brings is almost better than the real thing. So get inside if you wanna die. I'll try. The subtle death that the pleasure brings is almost better than the real thing. So get inside if you wanna die. I'll drive. This is another song that mentions City Island.
Yes.
Only if you know New York City geography.
Oh, nice.
Which I don't expect you. It would be like if I went over to like Paris and I was like, here's a little song I wrote about the Lynn Walmart. You know, like it's just you gotta know your audience. Which I went to the Lynn Walmart today to buy caffeine and seltzer. I wish you still lived uptown today, instead of in some sun-drenched condo, the continent away. 'Cause then I wouldn't be alone on a Pelham-bound express train making local stops tonight. I'd be at home. But I'm down the shore, snowy white blankets down. Now I am slipping and sliding across some innocuous town, running back where I come from, trying never to confront this hopeless ball of Venus twine that I've become. Where you go, there you go. So I wanna live in a low pressure scene, where all of the thoughts in my head sound exactly the same when I speak. Then I wouldn't have to shout, have this awful bile come pouring out my mouth. I could be nice, and then I wouldn't be alone on a Pelham-bound express train making local stops tonight. I'd be at home. When I was on that 6-month-long tour, I couldn't, I sublet my apartment, and very quickly my roommates were like, hey, it's not cool of you to come stay in this apartment when you sublet it. You're not allowed to stay here. So when I get, and that's, it seemed rude, but it's really fair. So I had to do this creative finding new places to live briefly, and in the breaks between shows, and at the end when it all started to fall apart, because it all fell apart. The last 2 months of it were a train wreck. I stayed some on City Island, and I would always be like, now that I don't know if you know, the bus runs all night now.
Oh, but it didn't used to run. There was a last bus.
Right.
Yeah, I walked home occasionally in high school. Because you have to walk.
1 or 2 times I walked home because it's like and the cab industry's got it too. They're like, that'll be $25.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm like,
It's like the last bus that you had to
It was like
walk over
12:30.
high school.
yeah.
Well, no, not coming from high school, but in high school I would go like from school in like the West Bronx down to Manhattan and like screw around in the city and then come back home super late.
Oh, it's really late curfew there.
Hey, God bless my parents.
Talk about 1 a.m. curfew.
It's New York City. What could go wrong?
Yeah, and so I stayed on City Island some, but after shows I
My
would have to
children were
ride
getting like changed.
the train. Early on in pandemic, I started doing a Patreon request show. My people who subscribe to my Patreon can tell me what songs to play, and I play them in this live stream show. And very early on, somebody said, please play TV Dinners by ZZ Top. And I played that. I didn't know it, and I learned it. And I thought, wow, I could write a charming little blues number about a food product that I like. And this song is called Ramen Noodles. Ramen noodles by Maruchan. I prefer them over any other brand. Bring a pot to a boil and simmer for a minute or 2. It wasn't what we wanted, but they were what we knew. Ramen noodles were from a cardboard crate, served alongside almost everything we ate. My mother always made them with margarine. My brother never wanted them with anything. And at 20 cents a piece, they were mostly free. I grew up to learn that they are neither healthy nor regarded as the dish you serve in polite company. But my 1980s palate, they don't know cilantro from shallots, and that salty sweetness tasted fine to me. Ramen noodles every weekday night. They weren't complex, just a simple carbohydrate. Bring a pot to a boil, make enough for me and you. Now it wasn't what we wanted, but they were what we knew. It wasn't what we wanted, but they were what we knew. Thank you.
I thought that was Lupin for a second. The cat. If the cat could talk, it'd be easier.
The storm is past, and windless chimes won't occupy my time. I'm going crazy. That's it for that one.
I'm in music class right now, actually, for a special rotation.
There you go.
So I'll be like, I watched you guys sing about ramen noodles, and it was amazing.
I appreciate that.
Most
This
beautiful
is-
song ever.
This is a song I didn't write, but I thought of on my way here today for the first time in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You say you're so sorry. I know you are, but what am I? Liar, liar, dress on fire. Go stick a needle in your eye. You think you're so funny, but looks aren't everything. I gave you my Telecaster. You a silver ring. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. It always turned my finger green. Even though I diss you, I still want to kiss you. I love you and I miss you. And I wish that you were dead. I saw you last Sunday in your new boyfriend's car. You were blowing bubbles outside of Wonder Bar. You were looking like a movie star, the kind that doesn't shine that far. Even though I diss you, I still want to kiss you. I love you and I miss you. And I wish that you were dead. I wish that you were dead. Sometimes I wish that you were. I'll play a few more songs I wrote and call it. Is that cool?
That sounds great, man.
That song's written by a band called Lincoln. And Lincoln made one album in 1997, and then they broke up. They went on tour opening for They Might Be Giants, and I saw them on their only tour.
What?
And then they broke up, and like a year later, They Might Be Giants, they broke up mid-tour, and then a year later, They Might Be Giants were like, we need a new guitarist and a new bassist. And the guitarist and bassist from Lincoln, who are both named Dan, joined They Might Be Giants.
Is
And
it like L-I-N-K?
L-
Lion?
No, Lincoln like the president.
Oh. Okay.
So they were a hard band to Google for a long time because it's like Lincoln Band, and the album is self-titled. But it was like I've never heard anything about what happened to the songwriter. He just like that was it. And if you look, you can find that record for a penny on eBay, Amazon, like 2 cents for that CD. And like there's 12 singles on that album. Like it like Nils Lofgren produced it, and it's just one of those like.
Oh, it's just like a really good record.
Is it on
they
Apple
just kind of.
Music?
It's probably on something. Yeah.
It's funny.
We'll find it.
Well,
We're
it's
gonna find it.
really interesting, like what you can find on those. Like
Yeah.
they're very like they've evolved quite a
I was somewhere the other night and I asked them to put on, they were like, what do you want to listen to? And I was like, I want to listen to 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul. And it's not, that's a popular album.
And it's not
on
there?
anything. It's not on anything.
bit. What? I bet Alexa could play it.
Hairstyle.
I have it on vinyl, but that's at home, so I couldn't play it.
That can play.
I'll play one more. I'll play a couple songs off my album, and my new album, and a couple songs off of other albums, and then call it from there. It's really nice of you to have me here tonight.
Yeah, wow.
I've never been to Swampscott before, and when I was coming up, when I was leaving Greenfield last night, today they were like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Swampscott."
Oh, they hadn't heard of us
They
either.
were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, and they were like.
Middle of
I
nowhere.
don't feel
Well,
so bad now.
Well, it's hardly the middle of nowhere when the harbor is right there and you can see Boston, which is not a slight city, just a couple miles away. You know, like it's happening. How long does it take to drive
I
to
mean, our
Boston?
fuel
They
tank
don't
is
get that
really
much.
bad.
Yeah.
I know I'm on it. But The JV team is really good, but no one cares what
It takes about, like, without traffic, you could do Boston in like.
But our football team is really good, okay?
With traffic,
It's
it's 2
like
hours.
crazy because you can take like trains, buses,
Yeah.
even
And our
boats. to
cheerleaders
Boston.
are half about it.
Yeah.
So here's a song in the key of E flat for anyone who's taking notes. E flat is the most 90s key.
No problem.
I don't know if you know this, everybody tuned their guitars down a half step
Oh,
in
sure.
the 90s, and it was impossible to learn how to play those songs correctly. You could play them, but they sounded slightly more major, so, you know. I can't even do it. I was
Yeah.
trying to play that classic Nirvana song.
Yeah, but it has to be tuned down.
Yeah.
Too major.
The man who tried to kill me will not resort to lie. 'Cause everywhere he turns, he cannot avoid my eyes. And the children are all laughing, even though it's in the past. And his tenure dangles out of reach. And the man who tried to kill me did not come cut out to preach. The man who tried to kill me has promises for skin and a handlebar guitar, and so we all looked up to him. I cannot forget the feeling of his hands around my neck, though his motives weren't exactly clear. The man who tried to kill me did not return next year. In a way, I have to thank that heathen with a gun, 'cause before I learned to walk, he taught me how to run. He taught me how to run. The man who tried to kill me is right behind the door. And he's sharpening an object that's intended for blunt force. And I know he's just a man. He moved on and has a life, though I hope he keeps a watchful eye. The man who tried to kill me will feel my rod in time. My gig in New Brunswick, New Jersey on Saturday night was neat because I played a house party, but I have this song that I'm not going to sing maybe for a while. And the kid who threw the show came up to me after the show. The lyric I say is, "I will murder everyone I see," which I think should be taken as satire. If I were going to do that, I wouldn't tell you.
Right.
I think I'm the safest person because I've been saying it every night all year. But he came.
Never actually happened, right?
Never happened.
Okay.
And if it did,
Just making sure.
you know, it wouldn't, and it wouldn't. And there was a point to the song. Somebody said to me early in the pandemic that when we can all see each other again, it's going to be the biggest snuggle fest. They said actually the words snuggle fest, and I said even then I said I don't think so.
6 feet.
And if somebody I know tries to snuggle me, somebody I don't know tries to snuggle me rather, somebody maybe I used to work with or something. You know, very early on, March 13th, 2020, when we're all terrified of what's about to happen, I walked out of a bar where I had played a show, and this voice screams, BrookPridemore! And a man I do not recognize runs up, gives me the biggest bear hug, and the sloppiest kiss on the cheek I have ever received. In the middle of the terror of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
I'm freaking out, because I'm sure now I'm patient zero. So the point that I was trying to make with the song was, if I'm going around snuggling everybody, you know, you're probably causing more harm than good, right? So this cat comes up to me, and he was really cool before that. He comes up to me at the end of my set. He says, bro, first of all, don't bro me. I like you, I like your set, I like your style, I like your get up over there. Don't sing about murder in this town.
In New Brunswick?
No, he didn't. He said, next time don't sing about murder here. And I said, would you like to know what the song is about? And he goes, nope, don't sing about murder here.
Sounds like
So I won't. Just shut your mouth and pull the blinds. No tiger ever changed its stripes. But I would gladly bleed to death to lay down in your paws again. Okay, I think this is 3 cool.
Dude.
And then I don't want you to say that, and then I go, here's my version of Inagata Vita, and then that changes the conversation a lot.
No, well, I mean, you've pointed out that there are 2 sides to this contract, you know, and you have one implicitly, you know, but 3 sounds great.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
As long as one of them isn't, you know, a 7-verse story about how, you know, your ancestors, you know, traveled, you know, all over the world, and, you know, we're gonna have, I don't know, you know what I mean? You're not a 20-minute song guy, you know?
What are some super obnoxious, let's see, Love Me, I'm a Liberal by Phil Oakes is one that's if you were I'm gonna do one more, and then that's a 7.5 minute song. Cortez the Killer is another one you could really get going.
Yeah, but I would forgive you. Cortez, what a killer. Sounds so good.
Stairway to Heaven is the cliched one, you know.
Right.
I know that one. I don't know any of the other ones you listed, but I know that one.
Well, we'll listen to Love Me, I'm a Liberal
Any
after
fish
I'm done.
improvisation is.
Oh, fish.
Some of those go on.
Oh yeah, could you imagine if I was just what's your face so done with a I'm just gonna do the last 10-minute vocal jam, the part nobody wants to hear. My pocket keeps buzzing, and I'm tired of it. So I tire of these modern inventions. So I'm gonna do one more song that I wrote about my mother, and then a short song like the one I played a few minutes ago, and then 2 regular length songs. This is not the newest song I wrote, but the next to newest song I've written. It's called Merry Christmas, parentheses, one more for Dave. When he hit me with his car, you were half the world away. I was only trying to wish you Merry Christmas. fell so hard. Why's it gotta be this way? Splayed across the boulevard, only listless. I remember being old, back before the choice was made, back before you tore my virtue with a quickness. Laying naked in your glow, you and me against the world. But I will never be your girl, let alone your missus. He came crashing out of me, like when he hit me with his car. And I am semen stained with tar, brutal stiffness. I am only being mean, so I can beat you to the punch. You can pick him up next month. Merry Christmas. You can pick him up next month. Merry Christmas. That's it. Thank you. My family's favorite story to tell around the campfire is that my stepfather tried to run my mother over with a car once. One of many stories. And I've been standing here singing these songs in this intimate setting, and I'm like, I want to be clear that I don't mean to be like a controversial performer or a confrontational songwriter, but when you have been confronted with such things as though they were normal, that becomes the normal that you write about. And so it has to go somewhere, and I appreciate you letting me give it to you this evening. This is a song about being in a band and you don't like where you live, but you like the band and so you stay. All of my friends are in... Nope, that's not how it goes. All of my friends are in this town. I can't believe we're watching that. You're gonna go deaf from basement jazz, but all my friends are underground. If all your friends are underground, there's only going up from here. There's nowhere to go but up from here. But all my friends are in this town. That's the short one. Yes. And I have two more. Whew. I think an uplifting one, and then one that's also end on not a sad note, but a pensive note. How does that sound? Okay, great.
That's great.
I don't want to bum. I hope I didn't bum everybody out tonight.
No,
No, not at all.
Cool, thank you.
Far from
Great.
it.
I brought stuff.
Very enjoyable.
I brought stuff: cassettes, CDs, T-shirts, tapes, and paintings.
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, do you have any money?
I do.
The house has money if anyone needs fronted, you know.
Appreciate
Do
that.
Venmo.
And the house always wins.
Right there.
Apple Pay.
Oh my god.
That was my impression of Mama. Like, do you take Venmo?
I take Venmo. I
You
sure
bought
do.
cookies for us with Venmo.
That's true. Thank goodness.
Keeps the world running.
There's not a single rhyme in this song, and I love that. Can I come over to your house? Semicircle off the road, where you never felt at home. You can show me what you know. I've been seeing someone else. But my friends insist I'll learn to like. She reminds me of myself. And I come over to your house, wore me well, they wore me down, wore me well, they wore me down. I've been driving forth and back between an oven and a cage, in betweening of the past. I've been dreaming of your mouth. Leaning close toward the flame, feel the butane on my skin. This place never felt like home, and I come over to your house. You wore me well, but they wore me down. You wore me well, but they wore me down. You wore me well, but they wore me down. You wore me well, but they wore me down. Thank you. You want a song about death or a song about love?
Death.
Love.
I remember it's like death.
What? My
Love.
dark 11-year-old.
Love.
Okay.
Just saying. You're 11.
Love. It's great.
Well, they're really
Love.
two sides of the same coin, for real, but
Death is like, you know, sprinkle some blood in there and organs. Interesting, you know?
all right, I'll sing the love song, and you can tell me if you want to hear the death song.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Well,
Because we're pretty evenly split.
I was gonna vote for death.
You know what? I'm
Same
doing
here.
both of
I
them. So
second
I'm
that.
doing the love song and I'm doing the death
All
song.
you
right,
have to let us
let's
do the
go.
encore. Like, you'll do the love song.
Okay.
Yeah, and then go. Yeah, just go.
Yeah, let's
through-
Pretend like this didn't happen, and then there should be like encore and be like, all right, one more.
Alright, death it is.
And then you're going to end it with death.
We're gonna start chanting
you
death,
insist.
death, death.
There's
That'll be your cue.
I want to talk about death, not love.
there was an era where I would go see the Mountain Goats, and they have this song that I think is really like their best song. It's called In Corolla, and it's the last song in this very, very sad sounding album, and it describes the narrator of the song like walks into the Outer Banks of North Carolina to end his life, and like describes the water rushing in around him.
Oh my god.
And I've seen them do it a couple times, and he's like, we usually like to end things on an up note, like on a triumphant thing, but I just feel like bumming y'all out tonight, so here we
Yay.
go. And that's always the one they would do.
Life
Wow.
is full of disappointments. Better get
Yeah.
used to it.
So, light at the head of the tunnel is the light of an oncoming train. I can see my reflection in its unblinking eye, and I don't want to ride it again. But I don't want to go to my dad's or Detroit, so I ride it at least twice a day. I've been searching for justification so long, it's an unwelcome change getting paid. And when my heavy heart hurts, I'll knuckle down and get back to work. No one can tell I am any the worse. I hide it so well. The light that goes on in my window are the light that goes out in your eyes. They both came so easy, they both kept me warm, but like all good things, both have to die. Yeah, well, 99 cents for a holiday favor is no nail to carry your trust. And a fading reminder of what we could be keeps being just barely enough. And when my heavy heart breaks, I'll gladly remake my greatest mistakes. Certain this is the time it'll take, and we'd rise again. The light that distends every evening is the light of a broken down elm. I don't want to be here, but I have somewhere to be, and at least I have a home for myself. Well, I wish I was there. I wish it was quiet. I wish I hadn't made such a mess. I wish you were here. I wish you would call. But above all, I wish you the best. And when the going gets hard, I'll fold my hand and show 'em my cards. 'Cause I have no reason to hide in the dark. I still love my friend. And when the going gets hard, I'll hold you in the warmest regards. It don't mean nothing being apart when it never ends. And I'll tell you the story because it's.
I want to watch the heads go.
It's the anniversary of kind of a weird day. We knew she was going to die, and it still is a shock when it happens. And she was diagnosed with liver failure in October of 2014. She and her husband stopped drinking together. Her husband was not the man that raised me, nor was he my father, but he was a third person. They stopped drinking. He dropped dead of a heart attack 7 months after they stopped drinking.
Oh my God.
On his way to work one day. And, you know, there's only one prevention once liver failure has set in, and that's a new liver. And in the state of Michigan, they won't give you a new liver unless you go on paper and show you've gone to some kind of recovery program. And they refused that recovery program, and so they just let you die. They just let you, and it could be, every month they were like, it could be a month or it could be 20 years like this. And it's just, you just don't know. And really after he passed, suddenly like that, she had no grip on and couldn't do anything anymore and was gone, gracefully not long after that. But, he was from England, and I have no idea how he got this as his wish, but they didn't have any kind of written will or anything. They were like, he was like, I want to be cremated and I want to be scattered somewhere in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we were like, anywhere specific? And he was like, just somewhere up there. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And if you've seen it, it really is something. Driving in from Greenfield today on MA2, I was like, this is close to that.
Yeah.
And credit where it's due. It's really beautiful out there, but way up there in the north, it's really something to see. And my sister was living in Philadelphia, and and I live in New York, and I took a bus down to Philly, and we left her house at like 8 in the morning, and we drove to St. Ignace, Michigan, which is the the mass of land right on the other side of the bridge. It's the first thing you see when you get over the bridge. St. Ignace. Beautiful downtown St. Ignace is like a McDonald's and a Super 8 motel and like a gas station. And it's kind of a hub because then you can go east or west or other parts. But you have to go through St. Ignace to see the rest of the Upper Peninsula. We stayed a night in the Super 8 motel and we woke up in the morning and I went down to the desk and I said, excuse me, where's the nearest beach? This is where you're trying to go fishing, you're trying to go swimming, what are you trying to do? And I said, well, we're trying to scatter our parents' ashes. And they said, actually, it's illegal to scatter cremated remains in the Great Lakes. And I said, okay, where's the nearest beach for a different reason? And they said, oh, well, if you're going for something else, then it's just right down there. And because I believe there's a difference between what's right and what's legal.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It's so illegal in so many different places, and everyone just kind of is.
Yeah, it's one of those like arrest me. Like, I'm sorry.
Let's do it.
There's nothing more pure than ash.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right, give me a song about death.
So we got to the beach, and we took his ashes first and dumped them out. And as I tipped the bag over, his ashes like jumped. It was like the wind picked them up and sprayed them at my sister. And she went, oh, and ran away. And then the rest of it went right into the water and drifted out to sea, out to water. I tipped the can of my last remains of my mother. We all do good things and bad things, but she did way more bad things than good. I tipped the urn over, and it was like it was a solid chunk. It just fell out and dropped on the beach. No water near it. I don't know how it happened, but it just went boom. And we stood there, and I'm like, do we go? Like, we weren't supposed to do this. And my sister was like, I can't just leave this here. We gotta wait for the water to come in. And the longest 15 minutes of my life was waiting for the last memory of her ashes just being the wake coming in and spreading it out to the lake. But we did stay and watch. And I went home and a year or so later, a friend of mine, somebody we had feelings for each other for a moment, but it wasn't ever really meant to last. And I said, life isn't short, life is long. And they said, it's the longest thing you do. And I may never see that person again, but that stuck with me. And this song is called Charlie Watts, and it's for those two people, and it's by BrookPridemore. That's me. My name's BrookPridemore. I live in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for having me tonight. Have you ever really listened to the studio musicians when you can't always get what you want? How the drums keep clicking, but they never find no rhythm. Man, it wasn't even Charlie Watts. Well, all of my life I felt like that. How I've never really hit no groove. They're lying if they tell you it's a short life you're living. It's the longest thing that you'll do. I had this dream that I was sleeping on a boy in a bikini who was everything good for my health. He said my plants keep growing and the seasons start showing. I'm just trying to become myself. Well, all of my love goes out to him and anybody who would seek the truth. Our hearts keep yearning, my people keep learning. This is the longest thing that we will do. And he said he wanted to be scattered there. So when you two were gone, we both obliged. We took an epic trip to the north. We tried to drop you off at the shore. They said, hey, that's illegal, but we don't know why. So we tried to double down on our time, but the water wouldn't take you away. It's like you were determined to stay. Even at no father's everlasting light, it's like you've always had to be right. If you never stop fighting, you're a livid greased lightning. You'll end up exactly alone. Not the first, if the latter. You become a Mick Jagger if you don't end up a Brian Jones. And all of my love goes out to you, you insufferable, insipid kid. When it's down to the letter, you should have done better. It's the longest thing that you did. All of my life I felt just like the Harlem Shuffle to your Susie Q. Love for the devil, I hope you're on the level. It's the longest thing that you'll do.